the glass pebble dash is by far one of the most remarkable things within 100 miles of here. You'll never see another glass pebble dash turret no matter where you go.
The Bradshaw House at 432 Park Avenue in Salisbury has definitely seen better days. But thanks to the Historic Salisbury Foundation, the architecturally significant 116-year-old property is now being restored to its former glory.
Yeah, the Bradshaw House is one of the most beautiful houses in Park Avenue. It is a contributing structure, one of the most significant structures, along with 2 or 3 others in this neighborhood. They're just vital to maintaining the fabric of this neighborhood. So we knew for a long time that this was something that we wanted to save. It was just a matter of getting to the point where we could convince the owner to sell it.
A great deal of work has already been carried out since the foundation acquired the home in 2022, but there's a good bit left to do.
There was pretty significant damage to the first floor framing system, so those floor joists have been replaced. Framing has happened there. And then most of the rest of it is exterior in nature. So you see the turret behind me. That was in significant disrepair. That has been repaired, almost complete. That roof we came back with slate and copper, which is really exciting. I think really sets it off. And then the rest of the house is a primarily pebble dash structure, which is kind of unique to the Salisbury area. Pebble dash is where you mix mortar and small pebbles and basically throw it onto lath on the house. The previous owner unfortunately had torn almost all of that off, so we are taking off the plywood that they had put up and replacing that with the original pebble dash. So we're really excited to do that, to bring it back to what it was originally and what it's meant to be.
The restoration of the home's signature turret and spire was just completed, and officials said it was anything but simple, though aspects of it were very gratifying.
I'm gonna tell you what, that thing was rotten. There was a big old hole through it. It hadn't had a new roof on it in 30, 40 years even. The turret was a great job to do. So one of the most challenging things was to rebuild the 5-foot tall spire, steel spire on the very top. And then of course putting on the new slate was actually kind of a joy. The framing and pulling out all of the bat dung and all of the horrible things that I had to do before that weren't so good.
Peters said the uniqueness of the turret is unquestionable.
But I'll tell you, the best part of that turret is the glass pebble dash. The glass pebble dash is by far one of the most remarkable things within 100 miles of here. You'll never see another glass pebble dash turret no matter where you go, especially with slate and copper and that big, beautiful 5-foot spire.
One of the next big projects will involve removing rotten plywood that was laid over the exterior pebble dash walls years ago.
We clean it, we replace all the rotten wood that's underneath of it, and then we put a moisture barrier down to make sure no water is going to get through there. And then we put steel mesh on it, and then we put our new concrete on it, and then we take rocks and we throw it at the wall, and we just make it look like it did back in 1907 when C.S. Bradshaw built it.
In stabilizing the home, the foundation will ensure it's watertight and that the exterior appears as it would have in 1907. Once it's sold, the new owner will have to follow preservation guidelines in updating the interior.
Yeah, so it's really important to us that each of the houses that we get, and HSF has now revolved or restored and put covenants on over 125 structures in the Salisbury area since its inception in the early 1970s. Really important to us that those covenants are there, because when they're there, it forces the new homeowner to follow fairly strict preservation guidelines. So you cannot take out flooring, you cannot take out railings, you cannot take out newel posts, you can't take out this beautiful turret behind us. You can't remove the pebble dash once the pebble dash is back up there, right? So the windows, all of these things that make a historic house and beautiful are critically important, and those get protected with those covenants.
Ellerby said older housing stock in cities like Salisbury is too often torn down to make way for new construction, but there's an incredible value to preserving and updating abandoned and historic homes.
We are a steward for the future to enjoy the past, right? And so historic preservation is all about preserving these structures for the future. And you know, the ultimate form of recycling is saving an old house. So we're really excited to be able to do that, to be able to contribute to this neighborhood. We do basically one house, one block, one neighborhood at a time, and that's what we're doing here with this house, is helping to bring this neighborhood back to what it once was and to show people what it can be again.
For Neighborhood TV, I'm Michael Barrett.